morning, those of you joining us on live stream or watching the replay. Everyone finding a comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall. Wherever your hands are, make sure that's also comfortable. And then give your shoulders a little shake this morning. Sit up really tall with the spine, close down the eyes. And then you want to start to feel this kind of pushing forwards of the chest. So the shoulder blades draw together on the back. The belly button starts to draw in towards the spine. And you want to feel the torso really waking up this morning. So there's this switching on of the core muscles and then engaging of the shoulder blades. And take a deep breath in through the nose and a sigh out the mouth. And then take a few breaths in and out here this morning, checking in with how that feels for you. Whether the breath is short and sharp, long and deep. Maybe continuing to make little movements if you like, with the shoulders or the neck. And then really starting to lengthen out our breath this morning. So exhaling wherever you are. Inhale through the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Now continue that count at your own pace. Inhale for 4, exhale for 4. Trying to even out our inhale and exhale. And you want the breath to feel comfortable. So you might have quite a quick count, a slow count. You could count a little further, or maybe you only get to 3 instead of 4. Find that comfortable place for you. And let's do 2 more rounds of breath. And once you finish the second round, gently blinking over the eyes. Shaking out the shoulders. Shaking out the hands. And I'm really trying to soften today. So notice as you go through practice, if the eyebrows really squeeze together or the jaw is really firm. And right now, just trying to relax everything. So shaking out the wrists, shoulders, open and close the mouth a few times. Any creaks or cracks? Wow, it's like this morning. Okay, starting with the wrists. Again, comfortable with the legs. So that might be cross-legged, open, up on the knees. We're going to take the palms so they face down. And the fingertips start on the floor, and you slowly bring the hands down. The palms don't need to touch the ground. You want to feel something through the inner wrists. And notice if you really dump all the weight into the shoulders here, you want to be quite open around the ears and the neck. You might find this comfortable to just pause. You might find it a little better to rock from side to side. So you choose whatever helps encourage that opening through the inner wrist. And then just see, for some of us, it's really obvious through the wrist, maybe through the fingers, somewhere else through the hands. Take a deep inhale breath and a sigh. And then bring the hands up, give them a shake. Now we want to stretch out the fronts of the wrists, but everyone's a little different. So there's 2 options. We do the opposite to what we just did. So palms down, you press down right into that crease, hands come down, straighten the arms. For some of us, this doesn't feel very good. So you can make fists, and then this knuckle bit squeezes together, keeping that press together, hands come down to the floor. If you've decided to do the knuckle one, often the hands come apart, so keep squeezing the knuckles together. If you are having hands flat, see if the wrists start to lift. Try and push them all the way down. You can relax the fingers. And then again, if there's this buckling or hunching through the shoulders, sit up nice and tall. Shake it out. Breathe. And I find this one a little harder to actually find sensation. You could sway. And then try to straighten the arms a little bit. One last breath. Deep inhale. Sigh out. Give it all the shape. Working on the neck this morning, so let your neck come down to the right, hand on the side of the head, and then very gently draw the head. So you're trying to lengthen. Is there a hunching thing happening here? Sit up nice and tall. And then you can even move with your breath. So as you inhale, you sit up, and then as you exhale, you're gently drawing the head over to the right. Final breath. Let go. Give the head a gentle shake onto the other side. So these don't need to be big, strong movements. Gently opening up the body as we begin. Working our way through. Last breath. And then slowly release. Working on the chest, so right arm comes up. Let the hand dangle back behind you. Try to grab hold of the shoulder and then let the arms up. If that's a little uncomfortable, see where you can hold on. Sit up nice and tall. Shake out the head, draw the belly in. Last breath here. And then let it go. Shake onto the other side. And notice if one side is a little more challenging than the other in this pose. And becoming aware of what's happening in your body this morning. Last breath here. And then let it go. So staying in whatever seat you're in. We want to open the shoulders a little more, so you're going to grab hold of opposite hands. Make sure that you don't just hang out here, squeeze the palms together. Try to straighten the arms down your back, feel the chest open. And if it's really tight, you can leave the hands resting on the lower back, or you can start to pull them away and down the body. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe. Keep squeezing the palms together. Sit up a little taller. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. And then on that second breath, letting go, give everything a shake. One hand on the floor, so if you can't quite reach the floor, make like a little tent with your hands. Arm reaches up, doesn't matter which one. Big breath in. Now as you exhale, keeping that arm reaching up, start to lean over to the chest. Does the shoulder collapse? Keep the chest open. So as you inhale, there's this pulling up and away from the floor. As you exhale, stretching out the side of your torso. And then letting the arm come down, give it a shake onto the other side. Reach up, deep breath in. Exhale, reach over. Last few breaths. So these kind of simple stretches at the beginning of class today to take your attention around the body. And let it come down, give everything a shake. Onto hands and knees this morning. If your knees are a little sensitive and you have a towel or a blanket, go ahead and place them underneath your knees. Now then spreading the fingers wide today. Having a look back at the knees, hip distance apart. And then rock forwards and back. So you can see how that feels if you rock forwards in the shoulders, if you rock back in the hips. And you want to find this balanced place. So the joints are stacking, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, to help us try and make the pose a little lighter. Spread the fingers wide. Push down rather through the knuckles than into this part of the wrist here. So we want to distribute the weight there. Push up through the arms. Try and draw the shoulder blades together on the back. So you might find you need to bend the elbows a little bit. And then squeeze the belly button in here, switching on the core. looking just in front of you. Trying to maintain this lifting away from the floor, extend your right leg back behind you, basically toward the floor. So as soon as you do this, do you feel yourself leaning into the left hip? Draw the right hip down. So squeeze the right bum, that might help. Keep lifting up and away. Looking forward, stay right here if you like, or lift the right leg in line with your hip. Flex the foot, toes point down. Whichever one feels more balanced. Now pushing away from the floor, reach your left arm in front of you. Left fingertips reach forward, right heel pushes back, lengthen the body, lift, push away from the floor. One more breath. And hands and knees come down. You're going to shake out the hands if it's feeling heavy. Onto the other side, spread the fingers, push through the knuckles, draw the belly in, shoulder blades together, extend the left leg. Now we say that lean into the right hip. So squeeze that left bum. Push back through the heel, lift up through the torso. Keep the foot on the floor or hover the foot. So we're not lifting too high, it's just in line with the hip if you do it. Push that left heel back. Reach the right arm slowly forwards. Cross body balance. Push up through the left arm. Right fingertips reach forward, left heel pushes back. Stretch out a little longer, one more breath. And then hands and knees come down, give it a shake. Sitting onto the heels, circle the wrists. And a little toe stretch today, so right up onto the toes, and then let the weight come down. I find my baby toes are really small, so I need to open my feet a little bit to incorporate them, so see where you're at. You want to have sensation through all 10 toes, and then the weight can come forwards. Weight can be here. You can sit right down on the heels, your choice. Close the eyes. If you'd like to do something with the eyes, you can squeeze the palms together again like we did previously, your choice. Or stay here, breathe. Deep breath in, long breath out. Just lovely, tight toes. Let's take a deep inhale. Big sigh. Those of you clasping the hands, give them a shake. Palms forwards, tops of the feet get a nice big tap. Feel that blood rushing back into the toes. Okay, so going a little further in what we previously did, press through the fingertips, hug the belly in, extend your right leg back. Now keep the foot on the floor, lift it up, and reach the left arm forwards. You're looking in front of you, not straight down. Push the right heel back, reach the left arm forwards. Stay here this morning, or if you'd like to, you can just bend that right knee and keep lifting. Or next step is reach that left arm back, grab hold of the right foot, and kick the foot into the hand as hard as you can. So there's a few steps there, see where you're at. If you're just bending your knee, reach the left arm forwards, keep lifting and pushing away from the floor. If you're holding your breath, don't. Take one more breath. Big sigh. Those of you holding the foot, let go. Everyone, push your right heel back, reach your left arm forward, stretch. And then hands and knees come down, give them all a shake. Okay, on to the other side. Yay. Left leg back. Push the toes down. So if you need to keep the foot on the floor, go ahead. Right arm reaches forwards. Foot on the floor, foot lifted, stretch it out. Lengthen the body, lift up through the body. Then on various steps, you can stay right here if it's quite wobbly for you this morning. You can bend up the left knee, stay here. You can reach the right arm back and grab the foot. See where you're at. Might look different from left to right side. Breathe. Push through that left arm. Lift the body away. Looking in front. Lengthen. Lift. Deep breaths. And then reaching right arm forwards, pushing left heel back, stretch it out. Hands and knees come down. Leave it all a shake. Fingers still spread wide here. Up onto your toe tips. Deep breath in. Exhale. Let's go up into down facing dog. So first down dog this morning. Bend the knees quite a lot here. Bend one knee, bend the other. Bend both knees together. Shake out your head. Yes. No. and see what is a comfortable, I mean, that's a very loose term in this pose, with the feet. Would they be a little closer, would they be a little more comfortable closer, further away? And then the arms, are the hands comfortable where they are? Could you spread the fingers a little wider? And if your shoulders feel particularly tight today, then sometimes turning the hands slightly out, away from each other, can help to free up some space in the shoulders. Bend your knees deeply. Push your hips up and back behind you, relax your head, and then see where the legs want to be. So you don't need to straighten the legs. And now make sure that the heels are behind the toes. So there's a nice big stretch happening through the back of the body. Try to bring your head in line with your arms. Push spine up and back, deep inhale. Exhale out. Roll forwards into plank pose on the knees. So pretty strong for the arms today. We're trying to build up some heat here. What you want to make sure of in plank is that the knees are not underneath the hips. So they're a little further back. And the elbows slightly here. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Hug the belly. Looking in front of you. Deep inhale breath. Exhale. Let's come down. Keep the elbows squeezed in as slowly as you can here. And then once you reach the floor, one hand on top of the other, rest the head, take it all up. And then hands underneath the shoulders, lift yourself up, making your way up to the top of the mat. And then let's stand up this morning. However you like, however you can fit. It doesn't really matter. Once you're standing up at the top of your mat, take a deep inhale, reach up to the ceiling. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale. Looking at the thumbs here, or closing the eyes. And really being aware of how it feels to stand this morning. Bend the knees a few times. Lift up all 10 toes and push down through the feet. Then let your toes lightly rest back down on the floor. Notice if you do smack your knees out. There's a soft bend through the knees. Belly draws in, relax the bum, draw the shoulder blades together, and lift up tall through the head. Standing here for a few breaths. And seeing what happens. So when you stand still, do your toes start to grip the mat? Try to let them be light. Do your knees really want to push back quite hard and relax? And so usually when we relax the knees, that helps to relax the glutes. If you push the knees back, then the glutes switch on. So they sort of work together. The belly button stays drawing back. We want the core to hold us up. And then maybe the shoulders get really tight for you today and they hunch forwards. Keep trying to open through the chest. Shoulder blades draw together on the back. Arms come down by your side, palms face forwards. And so this is mountain pose. We're aware of all these different parts of the body, trying to keep our attention focused on what's happening. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, arms wide, bend your knees, fold forwards. Fingertips on the floor or on your shins. As you inhale, your tailbone pushes back, your head looks forwards, halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Soft bend through the knees, arms wide. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do one more together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale, up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to do 2 more, but you're doing it by yourself. So you can copy me. You can maybe just try and do it. You make a mess, you make a mistake, who cares? Doesn't matter. Just move your body. Breathe. Inhale. And then we'll do 2 here. Going at your own pace with your breath. Once you've done two, looking back at the thumbs or closing the eyes. And just checking in with how it felt to do your practice with no one telling you what to do. And then slowly blinking open the eyes. So when I first started practicing yoga, I felt like that. I went to my first training and we had to do a whole sequence all by ourselves. And I was like, and then the woman was like, do you practice the sequence? And it was really cool. So it's quite interesting how when we do something and someone's telling us what to do, we don't really just expect them to keep telling us what to do. So when you practice, try and develop this sense of why am I doing this? How am I doing this? How does it feel in my body? So right up at the top of the mat, hand on the hips, set your right leg back. So let's go into a lunge straight away this morning. Make sure that your feet aren't in a straight line here. So they're in line with the hips. You want to be up on the toes of your back foot. If you need a wall, find a wall. Okay. So the distance between the legs is as far as you can go that's comfortable. You don't want to be so wide that the body's really sinking down to the floor. Just like when you were on hands and knees, you want to be able to lift the weight. So now mountain pose comes into every pose we do. Relax the left toes. Push down through the ball of the foot. And we want the joints to stack. So left knee on top of left ankle. You're trying to come right up on that back right foot. If you feel the ankle collapse, try and stack the heel behind the toes. Squeeze the bottom here to help you lift. And then the inside of the thighs, right at the top, you want to try and squeeze them as if you're holding a block in place. This helps to lift the pose. Arms reach up to the sky, high lunge. So working from the ground up, we try and build a strong foundation. Belly draws in. You can either keep the arms straight up, or maybe it's more comfortable for you. Cactus arms, knees and shoulder blades together. Keep drawing the belly in. Notice the legs. Breathe. Deep breaths in. Long breaths out. And then what happens if we stay here but we change the arms? Arms come down alongside you. Keep squeezing. You need to come out, go back in. Inhale, arms reach forwards. Exhale, arms alongside you. Try to keep the legs strong and still. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, can you reach the arms forwards? Lift this right leg up into the chest. The legs sit down. Arms come down. You do everything. Hands on the waist. Bend the knees a few times. Now let's go into the left side. So turn around if you're using the wall here. And then find your lunge this morning. So everyone's a little different. We don't want the legs in a straight line. We don't want the legs really wide. So right leg in line with right hip, left leg in line with left hip. Hands onto the waist to start. Lighten right toes. Push down through the heel, stack the joints. Squeeze the bum, lift up through that left foot. So you'll feel the front of the thigh engage, glute muscles, inner thighs. Squeeze them together. Belly, draw it in. Arms reach up, high lunge pose. Now it might be a little wobbly and unsteady, that's fine. That front knee might sort of come forwards and back. Breathe. Try and find somewhere to focus your attention on. So often looking straight in front of us can be quite helpful. Remember, you have this option with the arms if that's more comfortable. Keep lifting up and away from the floor. Now let's bring the arms down alongside us. Notice if the toes change, light toes. Inhale, reach forwards. Exhale. A few more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Two more. Big breath in. Long breath out. The last one. Nice breathing. Exhale. Hands reach up. You can use this to propel yourself up. Foot down. Hands down. Have a little breath. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, arms wide, fold forwards. So back into our lunge, slightly different way. Onto fingertips, step the right foot back. And so you might find it's actually quite hard for the fingertips to reach the floor here. Just do your best. Lighten those left toes. Now you can actually look at the foot behind you and visually adjust it if you need to. Trying to come up on the ball of the foot, trying to stack the heel above the toes, and then this left knee goes over the ankle. Now bring your hands up onto your left knee. And at this midway point, now we can really see a dumping the weight down. We want to squeeze the thighs together. We want to feel like we're lifting away from the ground. Arms wide. See how this feels. Relax those toes in the left foot. Deep breath in. As you exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, twist left. One more. Inhale wide. Exhale, twist. Open wide. Hands at heart center. Stay here for a breath. Place your hands on your waist. And now spin that back foot so it's parallel to the back edge of your mat. So we're setting up for warrior two. And then this time, maybe the legs are a little wider for this pose. This time, the feet are in a straight line. So your right foot is kind of midway to your back foot. And the distance between the feet, you want to be able to push into the outside edge of your back foot. So if you go too wide in this pose, then we tend to really collapse into this inner arch. So maybe it's a little shorter. Really push down through that back blade of the foot. Bend your front knee, let the knee open. So don't let it collapse here. Everyone is looking towards the door of the room. So your body is facing that way. Your arms open wide. Pull that right arm back behind you. Pull the left arm in front. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend into that front knee a little deeper. Now just your head turns to look forwards. Warrior two pose. Strong through the legs, strong through the center of the body, strong through the arms. Deep breath in, sigh out. Keeping the legs still, inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reach the arm up and back, reverse warrior. Back up, warrior two. So nothing changing in the lower half. Inhale, exhale. Back up, moving with our breath. Inhale, flip. Exhale. All the way back up. Flip the palms towards the door. Now this time left hand just in front of the left knee. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Shake out the shoulder if you need to. You're looking wherever feels comfortable for your neck. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Now look down to the floor. Place your hands either side of your front foot. Spin your back toes to face forward. Pick up the leg. Place it next to the foot of the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Big stretch. Exhale, arms wide, come back to fingertips on the floor. Left leg steps back this time for our lunge. So take your time. Hopefully they're starting to feel a little familiar this morning. You can rock forwards and back in the front knee if you like, if that helps. Stack that left heel on top of the left foot. Hands come up onto the right thigh. So as you lift, you might notice the toes grip a little here. You might notice the body really leans forward. So we're still trying to hug the inner thighs together, lifting up. Still trying to draw the belly in, so the whole body lifts away. Arms wide. See what happens. Relax those front toes. Draw the belly in. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, twist to your right this time. Draw the right hip back. Inhale forwards. Exhale, twist right. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Back to center. Hands onto the waist. Spin the back here. Warrior two pose. So adjust the feet if you need to. And so the distance in the legs depends on your body. Depends on your legs. The longer your legs, the wider, the shorter, narrow. Anchor that back foot down, bend the front knee. Everyone's looking towards the opposite side this time. Now open the arms, stretch them out, relax the shoulders. Keep the whole body facing in this direction and turn just your head towards the front foot. Breathe deeply. So you might find you need to kind of correct the arms, sway a little bit. You might find the shoulders hunch, you might need to shake them. Keep the legs as they are. Have a look at that front knee. Notice if it's collapsing in, open up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, a little lower into your warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale. Inhale, back up to stand. Keep that front knee bent. Inhale, flip. Exhale. All the way back up. Beautiful. Inhale, flip. Exhale. All the way back. Let's do one more. Flowing with our breath. Inhale. Exhale. Back up to stand. Cartwheel the hands down to the floor. And then spin the back foot forwards. Pick up the foot. Step it forwards. Inhale. Halfway. Exhale. Inhale up to the sky. And exhale. Hands to heart center. Steadying your breath here if you need to. Deep breaths in. Long breaths out. Opening the eyes if you're closed. Now looking straight in front of you to find balance. Hands come onto the waist. Give the knees a little shake here and then bend your right knee. Now immediately coming back to mountain pose. Spread the toes of the left foot, push down. Lift your right leg up off the floor. Use the wall if you need to for balance this morning. So your foot might stay on the floor and you're sort of playing with your balance this morning. The foot might be just off the floor, the foot might be lifted. You choose. Sometimes pointing or flexing the foot can be helpful. And what we're actually also trying to achieve here is lengthening through this outer left thigh. So if you feel really heavy and you're sort of sinking into the thigh, lift up. And then that's why sometimes using the floor can be helpful too. Breathe. Belly in. Shoulder blades together. Find your balance. Then wherever you are, extend that leg forwards. Toes come back towards you. Heel pushes away. Move the floor or the wall. Go ahead. And now just try and here. Bend the left knee a little bit. Now lift that right leg as high as you can. Lift a little higher. Lift a little higher. Lift a little higher. If you need to go back for a second, lift a little higher. Arms reach up. Lift up. Big breath in. Exhale. Foot comes down. Arms come down. Keep them straight. Onto the other side. And the left leg. Steady through that right foot. Find your balance. So it's usually a bit different from one side to the other. You've got this option. You've got this option. This option. You go ahead. Straight in front of you. Let's lift up through the body. And so keeping it really simple so that we can work on our foundations. Lengthening the outer right thigh. And if you keep the breath really steady, that can help our mind to focus on the task at hand. So it doesn't matter if you're wobbly, if you're going, oh, I can't balance this morning. Just let that go. If you can't balance, then how can I feel a little steady? Nice, good focus. Extend the left leg out. Might be on the floor if you need to. Push the heel away, draw the toes towards you. Now try and lift up tall through that right leg. Extend that left leg. See how it feels to lengthen. Lift a little higher. Lift a little higher. Right leg getting higher. Give the knee a bend. Push that left heel away. Reach the arms up. Lift up. Lengthen. Push the foot. One more breath. Feet come down. Arms come down. Give the shake. Next one. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale. Inhale. Halfway. Exhale back down. Inhale up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to heart center. So going a little further with our balancing this morning. Extending on what we just did. So bending the knees, lift up the right leg, give it a shake. And then you're going to lift that leg as high as you would go. So high being a very loose term here, that might be here for some of you. And then if you can, you're going to hold on to the leg. If it's still on the floor, then maybe you're just staying here. Something like this, maybe. Other arm can stay on the waist. You can reach out alongside you. So your choice. Light through the toes of the standing foot. Maybe you're going to stay here. Maybe you're going to go here. Your choice. You figure it out. Maybe you're going to stay here. Maybe you're going to go here. 3. Hand comes onto the waist, knee comes forward. You're going to stay here or hand outside. Other hand onto the waist, lift up tall, whoop, take a breath in, twist. Lift up tall. If you're not twisting, you're just staying here balancing. And everyone bringing the knee or the leg out in front, hands onto the waist, lift up, feet come down. Maybe this is feeling when you're give it a shake onto the other side. So many steps, really doesn't matter where you're at. And the knee, other knee, left leg this time. Find somewhere to focus, straight in front of you. And then where is your balance? Where are you at today? And then be really aware of this leaning into the opposite leg. So if you push out through the foot, if you really try and lengthen up through the body, then that can help to lift the leg. Belly in, core helping us here. Long breaths. Staying right here this morning if you need to, or you're starting to hold onto the leg. Staying right here this morning if you need to, or opening the leg. If you fall out, come back. Stay here, or reach the hand. Another option, look at the hand. So lots of options, lots of bodies. You work out you. Hand on the waist, bring the knee forwards. You're staying here or here. And then opposite hand can come onto the outer thigh if you'd like to try. And then maybe you're going to twist. You decide. Or you're just looking forwards, finding your balance. Long breaths in, long breaths out. Everyone looking forwards, hands on the waist. Push the foot away, place the foot down, give it a shake. Inhale, exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Reach up to the sky, nice big stretch. And exhale, hands come down. So, at the top of your mat, step the right foot back to pyramid pose this morning. Again, the feet are in line with the hips. You're stepping this right foot as far back as it'll go, then you can push into the heel. So if it's too far back, your heel's going to lift. Maybe your foot's going to open to the side. Both feet face forwards. Pushing evenly through the heels. Your hands are on your hips here as markers. So draw the shoulder blades together, feel the chest push forwards. And what we're trying to do is really stretch out through the backs of the legs this morning. So keeping the hips square here, you'll find you have to really push back through that left hip. Now looking in front, make sure you lead with your chin here. Start to slowly hinge from the hips. Keep pushing through those heels. You might feel a slight swaying into the right hip here. Draw that left hip back. The hips facing forwards to the front of the glute, nice straight pelvis. If that left knee feels a little pinchy, you can bend the knee. And it's not about reaching the floor, it's the sensation through the backs of your legs. Shoulder blades squeeze together, so there's a bit of an opening through the chest. And you're looking in front rather than straight down to the floor. One more breath here. And then you have the option to either stay here this morning, keep squeezing shoulders, or you can place your right hand onto the outside of your left leg, left hand onto your lower back, and twist your torso. Without hitching into the hips, trying to keep them facing forwards. Last breath. Big sigh. Now turning the torso to face forwards, bring the arms in line with your head if you can. Take a deep breath in, push through your feet, exhale, reach the arms up. Bring the right knee into the chest. Place it down. Hands come down. You give it a shake. Left leg steps back. Pyramid pose on the other side. Hands on the hips. So you could really notice here, if you lift up into your right hip, into your left hip, you can feel the pelvis sort of does this. You want to really try and keep the pelvis nice and straight. Push through the heels, squeeze the shoulder blades. Not hitching with the chin, not tucking. So just looking in front, big breath in, and then hinging forward. So the bum almost pushes back a little bit, chest comes forwards, and then keep going. See how that feels on this side. Notice if that back heel starts to lift up, push the heel down. Breathe. Nice. Good. And now you have the option. You can stay right here for this time. Left hand, outside of right leg, right hand, lower back, big breath in, exhale, twist. So you're pushing your right hip back for this one. Nice. One more breath. And looking forwards, arms straight in front, in line with the ears, pushing the heels, inhale, reach up, lift that knee, put the foot down, arms come down. Inhale, up to the sky. Exhale, arms wide, fold forwards. Halfway lift as you take a breath in. Exhale down. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, and slide. Looking at the thumbs, closing the eyes, checking in with what's happening. Yeah, and then blinking the eyes open if they close. So one last balancing pose before we come down to the floor. You can use the wall. You can stand on your mat. So I'll demonstrate and then we can go ahead. Joe, you might use a tie, a belt, a towel. If anyone else needs, I have a strap. But let's just see how we go, okay? So we're going into dancer's pose. I'll just demonstrate, and then it's kind of our peak pose of the practice today. So we're really trying to get it feeling balanced. So what we're going to do is bending at the knee, one arm up, and then we're trying to grab hold of the inside of the foot, bringing the knees together, lifting up. So really reaching up. The foot kicks down into the hand. Hard as you can, the knees stay together, and you're either working on this, so this is where the towel or the strap comes into play if you need it. This is kind of our starting point where you're kicking back, legs are not very wide, and then you're reaching. So often, I really teach traditional Indian yoga, so you might be used to something like this. That's really bad for this joint. So push up and away from the floor, kick the heel back, and we're not trying to turn ourselves into a letter T shape. We're reaching the arm up, opening the shoulders, and then we're pushing this leg back to open the spine and the legs. Use the wall if you need to. This arm reaching to the sky, stays on the wall, and then you work on the legs. There we go. So we're starting with left foot on the floor, bend up the right leg. So see where you're at. Wall or mat. Once you've got hold of the inside of that foot, find your balance, lift up tall, left arm reaches up. So now find somewhere straight in front of you to focus. Keep trying to draw the knees together. Lift up tall through that left leg. Now stay here today working on balance if you need to, or start to kick your right foot into your right hand. Before you do anything with the upper body, kick the foot back, kick it back, kick a little harder, kick as hard as you can. You want to feel through the shoulders. Now you can start to slowly reach up and forwards, maybe a slight tilt in the hips. Breathe. Now get a little wobbly in that standing leg. A few more breaths. Nice balance, Jill. Kick a little harder, reach up a little further, breathe a little deeper. Last breath here. As slowly as you can, knees together. Reach the right knee up, lift the arms up, bring everything down. Give it a shake. On to the other side. So turning around if you're using the wall. And then this time, the right foot stays down. Lift up the left leg. Hold the inside of the foot. If you need a little prop, get good. Awesome. Okay. So draw the knees together. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Find somewhere in front of you to focus. Keep those knees together. Now kick the left foot back. Kick it into the hand as hard as you can. A little harder. Kick a little harder. Then you can start to slightly reach forwards if you like. Relax the toes of that standing foot. And then by pushing that left foot into the arm, you're really opening up through the body. Right arm reaching forward so you're not collapsing in pose. Steady breath. One more. Now, coming out as important as going in. Bring your knees together. Reach the arms up. Lift the left knee up into the chest. Foot comes down. Arms come down. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale. Reach up to the side. And exhale. Hands to heart center. So a lot of work through the legs. Let's just do a little shoulder stretch. But no one's a fan of down dog, so we'll so Joey, find a wall in your house. Everyone's going to find a wall here. And what we're going to do is have the arms shoulder distance apart, leaning against the wall, legs wide. And then what I want you to do is come down, head in line with the arms, pushing into the wall, and then trying to find an opening through the chest. So the chest is pushing down towards the floor. You're keeping the toes light. You're keeping the spine long. Try to bring your head in line with your arms. So there is still a drawing together of the shoulder blades on the back. And as you let the chest drop through the arms here, we're trying to open up. So get the head just a little bit. Belly still draws in here. Breathe deeply. And so put pressure on the hands in this one. You can really focus on the spine, the front of the pecs, so in the armpits, around to the front. And then just think about it, just really starts to draw forward here, long spine. Take a deep inhale and a sigh out your mouth. Another one like that. Deep inhale and a sigh. Pushing your hands into the walls, slowly bring yourself up to standing. Making your way back onto your mat, standing at the top. Hands or arms on one side here, and then you shake. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms wide, forward folds. And then this forward fold, you can open the feet a little wider if you like, or really quite close together, your choice. And now you might like to have the arms hanging down to the floor. You might like to hold on to opposite elbows. Or if your lower back's just not feeling great today, you can rest the forearms onto the thighs. And then a few options, you might like to just let yourself hang here. You might like to sway from side to side. And still working into the back of the body. Let the arms hang down if they're not already. Roll yourself up to stand. Give everything a shake. And then sitting down onto your mat. Once you're sitting onto the floor, feet out in front of you. Wherever the feet are, you want to be able to push into the heels. So again, we come back to mountain pose. We're pushing down through the soles of the feet. We're not gripping the mat with our toes. Feet hip distance apart. Belly draws in, arms reach forward. So it could be really wide for you. And now, really trying to strengthen these core muscles. You might find you really want to collapse here. Belly button draws in, tops of the thighs squeeze together. Feet push down into the floor. So all of these different parts of our body helping to hold us up. Breathe here. And then if you feel something switch off, maybe the thighs relax, squeeze them in. If you feel the toes gripping, push through the feet. Breathe a little deeper. And a little deeper. And so now we're going to slowly come back. As far as you can, we're not trying to reach the floor. Where you can really hold on to the torso. So maybe for you it's a 0.5 centimeter. And you're coming all the way back up to that spot we were just at. Take a deep inhale. Now as you exhale, lower back as far as your body will allow, feeling supported. And then exhale, come back up. Take a breath in here. Exhale, lower. Inhale. So the tiniest little crunch, really. Deep breath in. Exhale. All the way back up. Bring the legs together. Give a little shake. You might like to be here. And then soles of the feet touch here. Bring them as close in towards you as you can. We're trying to access this inner thigh area. And so the closer the heels come, the more we can sort of tap into here. But then sometimes when we bring the heels in too close, then we tend to round the body. So you're finding that happy medium, your spine is nice and long. You're holding on to wherever you can. Deep breath in, squeeze shoulder blades together. Stay here this morning. Or slowly hinging forwards, not rounding. Leave the torso long. And so imagine you're trying to bring the belly button towards the feet. It's never going to happen, but that's just what we're working towards. Two more breaths. Sit up nice and tall through the spine. And then let it go. Hands behind you. Stretch the legs out in front. Give a little shake. Lie down onto your mat this morning. Bending up the knees, feet on the floor. Sway the knees side to side. And walk your feet as close in towards your body as you can. Feet hip distance apart. Raise your right leg up to the ceiling. Place your right ankle onto your left thigh. And keep the right foot flexed so it protects the knee joints. You are staying right here this morning if this is quite strong in your right hip. Or next option is you can place something underneath the left foot. It can help you with that. Or you're holding on to the back of your left thigh and hugging that knee in towards you. Thread the needle pose. Pause here, long breaths in, long breaths out. Those of you holding on to the back of the leg, relax the shoulders. And then wherever you are, you want to make sure that your body's not slowly starting to lean into that right side. So take your attention to the back of the torso. And then see if there feels like there's a bit more pressure in that right side than the left. You want sort of even weight distribution. And is there sensation in the right hip in this pose? Or is there sensation maybe somewhere else? One last breath here. And those of you holding onto the back of the leg, let your left foot come down. So left foot's on the floor, right ankle is still on the left thigh. Start to keep the right knee bent, but then you're going to open up that right leg. So taking the right ankle off the left thigh, the foot is in line with the knee. So you just have your right knee bent into your chest here. You can hold on to that right shin and squeeze it in tight. You can hold on to the back of the right leg if you like and give it a squeeze into the body. And so this morning, if it's quite challenging for you to hold the back of the right thigh and squeeze the leg in, then stay there. If you're holding onto the shin, maybe it feels okay. You're going to take your right hand, or right arm, place it on the inside of your right leg, and hold the outside of your right foot. For half happy baby pose. So if you are holding the outside of the right foot, you might keep that right heel squeezed in close to the groin, or you're going to push your right foot up to the sky, keep your right knee bent, and stay here. You might like to extend your left leg, or if you're holding onto the back of the thigh, you're squeezing that knee in, you're flexing the right foot, and you can keep the left knee bent, or extend the left knee, left leg out. Breathe. Long, deep breaths. Long inhales. Long exhales. To get a few timer here, you can keep that right heel into staying here for a little longer. Keep doing that. One more breath. Deep breath in. Inside out. Let go of the foot. Slowly stretch that right leg out in front of you. Give it a nice little shake from side to side. And now this time, bend at both knees. Lift the left leg up to the sky. Thread the needle pose. If half happy baby felt awful, you can just stay and thread the needle for the whole duration here. You might like to keep the foot on the floor, hold onto the back of the right leg this time. Your choice. Remember to flex that left foot to protect the knee. Relax the shoulders if you're holding onto the leg. Breathe deeply. And then sometimes to kind of figure out the body, you might find you do need to rock side to side to see if there's that imbalance happening and you're leaning into the left hip. You want to feel the full length of your spine on the floor. You want to feel the pelvis evenly resting down onto the mat. And one last deep breath here. And a big sigh. And then everyone bring the right leg back down to the floor. The arms are resting alongside you for now. And then the left knee bends into the chest. You can hold onto the back of the leg. You can hold onto the shin. Your choice. Again, being aware of what's happening. You're not leaning into the left side. You can stay right here. And you can start to push that left heel up to the ceiling and draw the left knee a little out alongside the torso. Or left arm inside of left leg, holding the outside of the left foot. Half baby. Right knee stays bent, or right leg extends out in front of you. I'm trying to access the hip, but there's a lot going on, so the arm, the shoulder might feel a little uncomfortable. You might find the body sort of leaning into the pose. Find that balance. If it's too much to push the foot up to the ceiling, you can keep the knee bent with the heel into the groin. Or you have that option to go straight back to thread the needle pose. Breathe deeply. Now for the last few breaths, you can stay right here, or if you'd like to go a little deeper, you can bend the left knee up into the chest, reach the arms through, right knee, sorry, and go into full happy baby. Your choice. Don't have to, just an option. If you are doing full happy baby, try and press the lower half of your spine down into the floor. Breathe. You can keep both heels hugged in if you like. Let's take 3 long, deep breaths wherever you are. Once you finish that third breath, slowly knees come into the chest. Give yourself a big hug and a squeeze here. Maybe rock to side if you like. And then bringing the head up into the knees, curling into a little ball. Take a breath in through the nose. And a big sigh. Bring the feet down onto the floor. Sway your knees side to side. And so here, you can go straight into Shavasana this morning. Or you might like to let the knees drop down to one side, take a breath, and then down to the other side if you want to finish with a twist. Just 2 breaths, and then slowly back into Shavasana. Whatever shape that looks like today. Legs in front, legs crossed. Just a quick little Shavasana this morning. Really let yourself rest. You gently stretched everything out today, warmed the body up a little bit, got out of our heads a little bit, maybe not. Take a sighing breath. And now for this minute here in Shavasana, it's really not that long. Any distracting thoughts, just leave them next to the mat, you can come back to them. Feel a gentleness in the breath. Relaxing sensation through the body, and allow yourself to pause here. And so often we need to give ourselves permission to do things. And so tell yourself here, let go. Yes. Open and close your mouth. Maybe really wide or just very gently. And rock your head from side to side. And keeping your eyes closed here, roll over onto one side and take a breath as you lie there. And still with the eyes closed after that breath, pushing yourself up to a comfortable seated position, bringing the palms to touch and sitting up nice and tall with the spine. And so as we end our session here, the palms come to touch. We're connecting both sides of the body together, trying to feel a little more centered, maybe a little more balanced this morning, ready to go out into our day. Thank you for letting me guide you through your practice this morning. Let's take a final breath together, inhaling through the nose and sighing out the mouth. Blinking open the eyes. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Joe. See ya.